What happens when one of America's biggest lifestyle icons casually mentions a dinner party with Meghan Markle, and then another guest reportedly says, "That's not what happened"? Suddenly, a quiet California dinner becomes the center of a very public celebrity drama. And trust me, this story has layers. Martha Stewart recently opened up about meeting Meghan Markle at a dinner party in California, and her comments immediately caught attention because of what she said about Meghan's recent trip to the United Kingdom, and because of Martha's blunt opinion about Meghan's move into the lifestyle and homemaking world. But here's where things get really interesting. A source who reportedly attended the same dinner has now disputed Martha's description of what Meghan talked about. So, was Martha simply remembering the conversation differently? Was Meghan misunderstood? Or has a harmless dinner party conversation somehow turned into another major headline surrounding the Duchess of Sussex? Let's break it all down. Martha Stewart is no stranger to the world Meghan Markle is trying to enter. For decades, Martha has built an enormous lifestyle empire around cooking, entertaining, home design, gardening, hosting, and the art of making everyday life look special. So when Meghan launched her lifestyle project and her Netflix series, With Love, Meghan, comparisons to Martha were almost inevitable. And Martha has previously been asked about Meghan entering what many people consider her territory. This time, however, the conversation became much more personal. Martha revealed that she had recently been at a dinner party in California where Meghan was also a guest. According to Martha's account, Meghan had recently returned from the United Kingdom and was talking about the trip. That alone might not sound explosive. But remember who Meghan is. Any mention of her relationship with the royal family can instantly become international news. Meghan and Prince Harry had recently travelled to the UK with their children and met King Charles and Queen Camilla at Highgrove. And suddenly, Martha Stewart is talking about Meghan discussing that trip at a private dinner. That is where the internet started paying attention. But then came the part that made this story much more complicated. A source who was also reportedly at the dinner disputed Martha's version of the conversation. According to that account, Meghan did not spend the evening giving a detailed description of her royal family reunion. Instead, the source claimed Meghan only briefly mentioned that her family had enjoyed their vacation. And that distinction matters. Because there is a huge difference between saying, "We had a great family vacation," and supposedly discussing private details about meeting members of the British royal family. So now we have two versions of what sounds like a very short conversation. And that raises a fascinating question. Did Martha Stewart actually expose Meghan? Honestly, the evidence does not prove that. And that's something we need to be very clear about. There is no confirmed evidence that Martha deliberately tried to expose Meghan or reveal a secret. There is also no verified evidence that Meghan was caught discussing confidential royal information. What we have is a disagreement over how a conversation at a dinner party was characterized. But the story became even more interesting because of Martha's comments about Meghan's career. When asked about Meghan entering the lifestyle space, Martha questioned the transition from actress to princess to homemaking personality. Her point was essentially that the career path didn't naturally follow in the traditional sense. And that comment instantly reignited the debate over Meghan's lifestyle ambitions. Because Meghan isn't simply another celebrity launching a cooking show. She is a former actress who became a member of the British royal family, stepped away from royal duties with Harry, moved to California, and then began building a new public identity around storytelling, food, entertaining, home life, and entrepreneurship. That is a huge transformation. And whether you love Meghan or dislike her, you have to admit, it's an unusual career journey. But here's where the Martha versus Meghan comparison gets complicated. Martha Stewart spent decades establishing herself as a lifestyle authority. Meghan is attempting something different. She isn't necessarily trying to become the next Martha Stewart. Her brand is built around her own personality, experiences, taste, and perspective. And that difference is important. Still, the comparison is unavoidable. Martha has the decades of experience. Meghan has the royal connection and enormous global visibility. Martha built her name through lifestyle media. Meghan entered the lifestyle world with one of the most recognizable names on the planet. So naturally, people are asking. Thanks for watching.